Hunters and warriors practiced semen retention because they knew it gave them an edge. They lived in worlds of danger. Every day was uncertain. Every choice could mean survival or destruction. A wrong step could end a hunt. A moment of weakness could cost a life in battle. They had to sharpen body and mind. They had to remove distractions. They had to channel energy into purpose. They saw semen as more than a physical fluid. They saw it as the very essence of life. They believed it held power, focus, and vitality. They learned to conserve it. They noticed how their bodies changed, felt stronger. They thought clearer. They endured longer. This was not an accident. It was wisdom born of survival. Join the Telegram channel, whose link is in the description. There you will find men walking the same path today. You will find support. You will find community. You will find voices who know this ancient truth. Hunters moved through forests for days. They tracked animals for hours. They needed patience beyond imagination. Every sound mattered. Every scent mattered. Every shadow mattered. They knew that lust made the mind restless. They knew indulgence drained the body. They saw the difference between men who practiced retention and men who wasted. The difference was life and death. Warriors too understood. Before stepping into war, they conserved. They did not enter battle empty. They entered charged with energy. They carried invisible fire inside. Their eyes showed it. Their bodies radiated it. Their aura intimidated enemies. Their confidence inspired allies. Retention gave them that edge. They would rather die than enter battle weakened. Cultures across the world practiced the same discipline. Samurai in Japan followed codes of purity. Native Americans had rites of abstinence for young warriors. African hunters trained boys to channel their energy. European knights swore vows of chastity before campaigns. Everywhere the lesson echoed. Yes. If you want to command others, first command yourself. If you want to defeat the enemy, first defeat temptation. If you want to master the wild, first master your own impulses. Men who obeyed this became great. They gained respect, they gained power, they gained legend. Men who ignored it fell. They were distracted, they were weak, they were forgotten. Retention was never just denial, it was transformation, it was mastery. Desire is fire. Fire uncontrolled destroys, fire controlled forges. Warriors and hunters forged themselves through fire. They took lust and turned it into focus. They took craving and turned it into patience. They took temptation and turned it into clarity. This was the secret. This was the path. This was the reason they thrived. Even spiritual traditions supported this practice. Yogis in India spoke of brahmacharya. Taoist masters in China taught energy retention. Monks in monasteries across the world embraced chastity. The idea was always the same. Seed is sacred. Seed holds life. Seed must be preserved if you want to rise above. The warriors and hunters were not monks, but they lived the same law. They understood it practically. They knew indulgence weakened men. They knew control strengthened them. Science now confirms what they knew by instinct. Semen contains vital nutrients: zinc, protein, amino acids, hormones, neurochemicals. When a man releases constantly, he depletes himself. The body struggles to rebuild. It takes time. It drains energy. But when he retains, the body builds reserves. Testosterone rises. Motivation grows. Focus sharpens. Aggression channels in a healthy way. Confidence radiates. These changes are visible. Hunters and warriors did not need labs. They felt it. They lived it. They depended on it. Imagine a hunter waiting in silence for prey. His energy contained within him, his senses alert, his mind calm, his focus sharp as a blade. He can wait for hours. He can hear the smallest rustle, can strike at the perfect second. Now, imagine a warrior marching into battle, his energy conserved, his blood surging with fire, his spirit unshaken. He steps onto the battlefield unafraid. His presence commands attention. His enemies fear him before swords even clash. His allies find courage in his strength. This power does not come from indulgence. It comes from discipline. Retention was taught from father to son. It was woven into rituals. It was spoken in stories. It was reinforced in training. Because men knew that without it, others would fail. They would tire too quickly. They would become nervous. They would lack clarity. they would lose confidence. But those who practiced retention became unshakable. They walked with steady steps. They held their gaze without fear. They led with certainty. They carried themselves differently. Everyone could feel it. The tribe respected them. The enemy feared them. Even sages respected this practice. They saw that warriors needed it as much as monks. They saw that hunters needed it as much as philosophers. They all agreed on one truth. A man who cannot control himself is not a man of power. He is a man of weakness. He cannot lead, cannot inspire, he cannot stand tall. Hunters and warriors proved this truth every day. Their survival depended on it. Their victories were built upon it. Their legends were born from it. Today men have forgotten. They waste energy daily. They indulge in constant pleasure. They drown in instant gratification. They wonder why they feel weak. They wonder why they feel anxious. Wonder why they have no drive. They wonder why life feels empty. The answer is clear. They are drained. They are undisciplined. They are wasting their fire. Ancient men would look at them with pity, and they would see weakness where strength should be. Yet they would see distraction where focus should live. But the path is still here. The fire can be reclaimed. The discipline can be practiced. Modern men can choose the same way. They can hold their seed. They can harness their energy. They can rebuild their focus. They can rise again. The results are powerful. In the first days, urges will fight you. The mind will rebel. The body will crave release. But with discipline, change begins. Energy builds. Motivation surges. Clarity returns. Confidence grows. You walk taller. You speak stronger. You think sharper. You feel alive. You begin to sense it. You feel primal again. You feel ancient. You feel connected to the hunters of forests. You feel connected to the warriors of battlefields. You carry their spirit. You embody their strength. This is why retention matters. It is not old superstition. It is living truth. It is mastery of self. It is a path to greatness. So ask yourself, do you want to waste or to build? Do you want to live dull or alive? Do you want to collapse or to conquer? The choice is yours. Retention is not easy. Nothing of value is. Discipline is hard, but greatness demands it. Hunters practiced it because they had to. Warriors practiced it because survival required it. You can practice it because life still demands strength. Life still demands focus. Life still demands courage. Join the Telegram channel in the description. There you will find others walking the path. You will not walk alone. You will find men who share stories, men who share victories, men who share struggles. Together you can grow. Together you can rise. Together you can awaken the fire that hunters and warriors knew so well. And if you found value in this message, if you felt the truth in these words, then support this work. Use the thanks button below. Every contribution matters. Every act of support is important, no matter how small it helps. It keeps this knowledge alive. It helps more men find it. It helps more men reclaim their strength. Hunters and warriors carried the fire. Now it is our turn. Together we keep it burning. Together we walk the path. Together we rise again.